clothing line come about in the first place?
I moved out here in 2005, so in 2 years, I came here for a DJ contract, and I opened a nightclub, saved some money, and instead of buying property, I just decided to invest into a boutique because there just wasn't anywhere to shop really in Vegas. There was kind of like an absence of the type of clothing that I wanted. So I was like, why don't I just provide that clothing here? And so I wanted to bring a little bit of a New York culture from where we're from, and then a little bit of some West Coast flavor as well. And then so when we did that, we created KNYEW, and we came up with Keeping New York Everywhere.
So you self-funded this project with your partner. You guys did not take in investors.
No, we didn't take any investors. It was all money that we saved on our own. We probably, and we're just two kind of like street kids from New York. So we made a lot of mistakes and stuff like that. I mean, we don't have any business degrees and stuff, but we've lasted like 8 years now.
How were you able to select your partner in this endeavor?
It's probably the worst way to select a partner, which is like he's my homie, he's like my brother. So DJ Neva is just kind of like my partner, and I'm like, let's do this. I mean, we bicker all the time and we fight, but we're at a good place now where he understands his role and I understand my role. And when we come together, we're like friends again. There was definitely a time where we were just kind of like, a little bit,
a little salty with each other.
A little salty with each other, but I think we're at a good place, and and he knows he's a big part of this company.
Well, what would be your advice to someone who's thinking about starting a business with a close friend or best friend?
Get your paperwork right, no matter what. I mean, in a marriage, in a business relationship, just make sure you're protected, because no matter how much you know somebody, you never really know them when money comes when money gets involved. I've been very lucky and grateful to have a partner like Neva, where money was never an issue, where we really had each other's backs, and there was a true friendship there, and we were able to sustain that friendship throughout all the ups and downs in this business. I mean, the first 3 to 4 years of this business was really hard. I mean, we probably were in the red the first 2 years, broke even the third year. The fourth year maybe had like some minor profit, but it was definitely a hard road, and me and him stuck it out, and I'm thankful that I got a true friend like that to be with me every step of the way.
So what is it about Las Vegas and the state of Nevada that keeps you in wanting to conduct business here?
I think one of the great things about Las Vegas is that there's just a lot of opportunity here, and like I said, it's a very transient city. There are people from the East Coast, West Coast, overseas, everywhere, and they all come here, and it's kind of the epicenter of nightlife entertainment, and entertainment in general almost. So there's a lot of room for us for exposure, and then there's a lot of opportunity here. I would have never been able to open a store in New York. Rent is too high. I would have never saved the amount of money. Standards of living are too high over there. So when I come over here, I'm able to save money. There's more opportunity to open a business here and to own a business here.
And you opened your first brick and mortar retail location in Chinatown here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Now, why Chinatown?
It just kind of made sense. It was so close to the Strip, and I think the location that we're at, probably the busiest one in the city, I would think, with Fo Kim Long there, Lee Sandwiches, hot and juicy. The amount of traffic that goes in there is insane.
Yeah,
I mean, I talk to people all the time, and they're like, "Oh, that's the place where I can never get parking."
Right, that's right.
So I mean, it's become this real staple of Las Vegas, and it's so close to the Strip, and I just think it just kind of worked at the time, and I think it worked in our favor.
How do you find your demographic usually? Is it more local? Is it tourists?
Right now, it's a good mixture of both. I think in the beginning, it was definitely word of mouth. And me being a DJ here and having contacts in the nightlife industry helped a little bit to kind of bring some industry people here, get some word of mouth out. I gotta say, as far as locally, it was very organic. It was very, Las Vegas is a small town. So if the city's not feeling you, they're not going to support your business, you know? So it was very organic it was very like word of mouth. So as much as we tried to push Twitter and social media, it didn't really mean anything if it wasn't backed up by the city itself, right? And then as we started getting backed up over the years with the city, I think our Instagram and social media became very strong. And that's when we started getting a little bit more tourists coming in, because we are a destination location. There is no steady foot traffic around us, right? So if people come to see us, they've got to kind of go out of their way to see us.
What is your advice to someone who may be considering trying to get into the fashion industry?
What matters is the work itself. Some people try to brand themselves as designers. They try to market themselves and try to do all these things on social media, but in the end, there's no substance behind it. And I think maybe I'm a little bit older, I come from an older generation. I'd rather just focus on the work and let the work speak for itself.
What is your vision for this company?
My vision for this company is, we started as a boutique, but I really want to very much move towards becoming its own individual brand. And I want to be maybe one of the first Las Vegas brands to come out. I really do feel I can change the industry here in Las Vegas and create a larger retail industry here. Just for the fact that as we've grown, I've seen other companies grow with us. So we have some manufacturing here in Vegas. That manufacturing company grew with us. We have a hat maker here, and they've grown with us. So as we grow, other companies, all the local businesses grow. As we grow, other entrepreneurs feel more comfortable to open we create a larger market. So there is a market for other entrepreneurs to start their own clothing brands. I think we can be one of the first legitimate, maybe somewhat successful brands to come out of Las Vegas and become a Las Vegas brand, even though the owners are from New York. And I'd very much like to keep pushing that. And we're already in talks about opening a possible location in LA, maybe in 2-3 years. And I'd like it to be known as a Las Vegas brand that kind of, got situated in LA, and then hopefully move to New York and then Tokyo or however. But I want the city to kind of know that, oh yeah, KNYEW is keeping New York everywhere, but it's a Las Vegas brand. It was made of Las Vegas people, and it came from the city of Las Vegas.
As a business owner, do you find it cost prohibitive to have a lot of your manufacturing done here locally in Las Vegas, or even just domestically in the United States?
I think it's a matter of control, and it's also a matter that I don't know how they're treating workers or fabrics or anything overseas. So I would never make anything overseas unless I'm at that factory and I'm looking the workers eye to eye, and I'm looking at the production managers eye to eye. It's a very important thing for me to have everything made in the USA, because other companies in the US grow, and then the economy grows with it.
So what is the one thing that any young entrepreneur should be doing right now?
A young entrepreneur should be not focused on the money. They should be focused on learning and taking their time to learn. That is the number one most important thing. You're not supposed to be a millionaire in your 20s. You're not supposed to be a millionaire in your late 20s. What you're supposed to be doing is learning a craft. So when you spend the early parts of your life focused on money, 10 years later, you may have not even built a skill or something. You would have not retained any type of knowledge to start your own business. So you'll end up working for somebody the rest of your life, and you'll be dependent on this money because you've built
You've built a lifestyle that's dependent on the money.
You have standards. So I would say that there's nothing better than being broke and young, because you're supposed to be broke when you're young. You're supposed to be sleeping on the floor. It's endearing when you're young. When you're 35 and you're sleeping on the floor, that's not endearing.
It's not good. Yeah.
Sad.
It's depressing.
So you're better off learning and making a ton of mistakes when you're young, and really retaining a bunch of knowledge and taking your time with it, and not wasting your time doing anything else, but really trying to learn something and learn a craft or some type of skill. And then, I think that's the most important thing. Yeah.